motivation is a lie. It will fail you every single time. You've been sold a fantasy that if you just feel inspired, the world will bend to your will. That waiting for some magical spark will push you forward. It won't. Motivation is fleeting. It flickers, fades, and vanishes the moment life tests you. And make no mistake, life will test you. Every day it will throw distractions, doubts, and resistance in your path. If you rely on feeling good to act, you will fail. Guaranteed. Most people chase motivation like it's a sacred elixir. They scroll through videos, read quotes, listen to speeches, and for a moment, they feel a jolt. But that jolt is temporary. It's meaningless if you don't convert it into action. Real power is forged in discipline. Discipline doesn't wait for a feeling. It commands action regardless of mood, energy, or circumstance. Discipline is the quiet engine that allows the same person to rise before dawn, execute tasks relentlessly, and surpass competitors who wait for a fleeting burst of inspiration. While others rely on feelings, the disciplined dominate. Consider the example of Napoleon Bonaparte. He didn't conquer Europe because he felt motivated every morning. He conquered because he adhered to a rigid routine, mastered his mind, and executed relentlessly. Or look at Elon Musk. He doesn't wait for a mood to strike. He works 12, 14, even 16-hour days because he has built an unshakable structure around his work. Motivation could never have produced Tesla, SpaceX, or the ventures still in motion. Discipline created results where inspiration alone would have faltered. Time is the most ruthless enemy you face. If you keep waiting for a spark, years will pass while others take what you dream of. Opportunities will vanish, advantages will be seized by the disciplined, and your dreams will decay into regrets. There is no reset button. Every hour you waste waiting for a feeling, someone else is taking what you want. Today, you will stop chasing motivation. Today, you will learn how to build a ruthless, unshakable discipline that bends reality to your will. By the end of this video, you will hold 12 laws, 12 unstoppable principles that give you control over your life. Apply them, and you will outwork, outsmart, and outperform everyone around you. The 1% who commit to these laws will dominate. The rest will continue waiting, hoping, and failing. Comment below if you are ready to leave motivation behind and command your life. Like this video if you're prepared to take control and apply the 12 laws that will transform you into someone unstoppable. You wake up every day with a plan in your mind, yet by nightfall, nothing has changed. You try to stick to routines, attempt to exercise, learn a skill, or push your career forward, but somehow it slips away. Inconsistency dominates. Procrastination wins. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, or I just don't feel like it today. And with each excuse, your dreams slip further from reach. You are trapped in a cycle most ambitious individuals never admit. Waiting for motivation to arrive, hoping inspiration will strike, and blaming circumstances when nothing happens. Meanwhile, the world doesn't pause. Others rise, others execute, others dominate. They do not wait to feel ready, they act. They build habits, routines, and momentum that compound every single day. And as you hesitate, stagnate, and falter, the cost becomes clear. Opportunities vanish. Promotions, ventures, and life-changing moments go to those who refuse to wait for a spark. Resentment creeps in, not toward circumstance, but toward the relentless few who act while you remain idle. You watch them succeed and ask yourself why you are stuck. The truth is brutal. Motivation is a mirage. It gives the illusion of progress, but delivers only excuses. Picture someone trying to exercise. They buy equipment, join a gym, and start strong. But a few days in, they skip sessions because they don't feel like it. They buy courses to learn a new skill, but watch lessons half-heartedly, never applying what they learn. Each attempt ends the same way. Frustration, guilt, and the nagging awareness that they are capable of more. But they are letting fleeting feelings dictate action. This is the trap. You cannot rely on moods, bursts of energy, or inspiration. They are unreliable allies in a world that rewards consistency, control, and relentless execution. Here's the shift. Ruthless self-discipline is not a suggestion. It is a strategy. A Machiavellian approach to life where you dominate your own behaviors, your habits, and your time. Discipline removes emotion from the equation. It transforms your potential into results. It allows you to execute even when your mind resists, to act even when your body protests, and to outwork everyone around you without waiting for permission from a fleeting feeling. Like this video if you are ready to break free from inconsistency, Comment below with the one habit you fail at every week, and by the end of this video, you will learn how to replace that weakness with an unstoppable, disciplined strategy that bends reality to your will. The first law of ruthless discipline is simple. Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is fleeting, fragile, and entirely unreliable. It comes and goes like a candle in the wind, lighting your path for moments, then vanishing when you need it most. Relying on motivation is like trying to sail across a stormy sea using only gusts of wind. You will drift aimlessly, constantly at the mercy of forces beyond your control. True power lies in discipline. Discipline is permanent. Discipline does not wait for feelings, moods, or inspiration. Discipline commands action even when you are tired, frustrated, or uninspired. Consider Olympic athletes. They do not wake up each morning asking, "Do I feel motivated to train at 5 a.m.?" The answer is irrelevant. They follow a strict schedule because they understand a simple truth. The body responds to routine, the mind responds to structure, and results emerge from relentless repetition. Every early morning run, every grueling lap, every disciplined session compounds over time. Motivation may spark the desire initially, but it is discipline that produces champions. This principle applies not only to athletes, but to anyone seeking mastery in life, business, or craft. Waiting for a feeling is a luxury reserved for the weak. Now, let's translate this into your life. You must build a schedule that enforces action regardless of mood. Decide exactly what you will do and when you will do it, and then commit to execution. For example, if your goal is to exercise, set a fixed time each day and follow it without negotiation. If you are learning a new skill, allocate a specific window for practice and protect it fiercely. The key is consistency over emotion. Some days you will feel energized. Other days you will feel drained. Discipline ensures that you act through both extremes, creating momentum that motivation alone could never achieve. Start small, but start deliberately. Write down your daily actions and assign them rigid times. Remove options to procrastinate. Create a system where your behavior becomes automatic, not dependent on whims or feelings. The 1% who succeed do not wait. They act relentlessly, methodically, and without hesitation. Comment below with the habit you will commit to today, no matter how you feel. Like this video if you are ready to stop chasing sparks and start building unshakable momentum. Mastering this law is your first step toward controlling your life, outworking your competition, and bending reality to your will. Discipline is not an option. It is a weapon. The second law of ruthless discipline is simple but powerful. Master your morning. How you start the day dictates how the day unfolds. Early routines set the tone for focus, energy, and productivity. When you seize control of your first hours, you seize control of your life. Conversely, if you allow your mornings to drift, scrolling aimlessly, reacting to emails, or surrendering to fatigue, you surrender the rest of your day to chaos, distraction, and mediocrity. Discipline begins at dawn and mastery begins there. Consider the examples of high achievers. Tim Ferriss, in his books and interviews, emphasizes the power of a morning routine designed to maximize output, mental clarity, and personal growth. CEOs and historical figures alike, Benjamin Franklin, for instance, leveraged the early hours for uninterrupted focus, strategic thinking, and personal development. These individuals understood a fundamental truth. Mornings are the battlefield for the day, and the first to seize them gains a decisive advantage. They didn't wait for energy to strike or for motivation to arrive. They built structure, executed relentlessly, and reaped the compounding benefits of repeated, disciplined early action. Now, let's translate this into your life. The first step is to wake up at a fixed hour every day, without negotiation. Guard this time as if your life depends on it, because it does. Next, attack your high-value tasks immediately. These are the actions that move the needle in your career, business, health, or skill development. Do not allow low-value distractions, emails, social media, trivial chores, to infiltrate your prime hours. The goal is to create an unbroken block of time where your energy is channeled toward growth, mastery, and achievement. Your morning sets the psychological tone for the day. When you conquer it, you create momentum that propels you through tasks with clarity, efficiency, and confidence. Even when fatigue or resistance strikes later, you have already claimed victory. Small, consistent wins in the morning accumulate into significant results over time. Discipline is not about occasional bursts of brilliance. It is about creating systems that enforce high performance daily, beginning at the hour when most people are still asleep or languishing in indecision. Comment below with the hour you will commit to waking up every day. Like this video if you are ready to dominate your mornings and, by extension, your life. The 1% who master their mornings command their destiny. Those who ignore this law will remain reactive, scattered, and perpetually behind. Control your first hours, and you control everything that follows. Your morning is your battlefield. Win it, and the rest of the day is already yours. The third law of ruthless discipline is clear. Remove weakness triggers. Your environment and the stimuli you allow into your life either empower you or sabotage you. Weakness is rarely a failure of will. It is a failure to control the conditions around you. Social media notifications, mindless entertainment, toxic friends, and unhealthy habits are silent predators. They attack your focus, dilute your energy, and slowly erode the structure of discipline you are trying to build. Every temptation you leave unguarded is an invitation to mediocrity. Consider the modern trap of social media. Every notification, every feed scroll, every viral video is engineered to hijack attention. It feels harmless, even enjoyable, but in reality, it steals time, fragments focus, and dulls ambition. Likewise, peer influence can be destructive. Surround yourself with those who gossip, complain, or indulge in passive consumption, and their habits infect your own. The people, the apps, and the routines you allow around you are triggers for weakness. They do not merely distract, they reshape your brain to accept lower standards, lower output, and lower results. Discipline is about control, and control begins by eliminating the things that weaken you. Now let's translate this into actionable strategy. Conduct a ruthless audit of your environment. Identify every element that tempts procrastination, diminishes energy, or saps focus. Ask yourself, which apps, notifications, or websites do I check unconsciously? Which friends, colleagues, or family members pull me into mediocrity or drain my energy? Which routines keep me in a state of passivity rather than power? Once identified, remove them completely. Delete the apps. Mute or limit the influence of those who weaken you. Reorganize your environment so that focus is effortless and distraction is nearly impossible. Next, replace those voids with triggers of strength. If social media once consumed your mornings, replace it with reading, skill building, or planning your day. If toxic peers once filled your evenings, replace them with mentors, high-performing friends, or solitude that encourages reflection and growth. Every decision to remove a weakness triggers compounds over time. Momentum grows when your environment reinforces your discipline rather than undermining it. Comment below with one distraction you will eliminate today. Like this video if you are ready to take ruthless control over your environment and remove every trigger of weakness. The 1% who dominate life do not rely on luck or motivation. They control their space, their input, and their mind. Remove the triggers. Build unshakable focus. Dominate your world. The fourth law of ruthless discipline is straightforward. Create systems that enforce success. Habits alone are fragile. They rely on willpower, and willpower alone is finite. When motivation fades or fatigue strikes, habits crumble. Systems, however, are power structures. They are frameworks that automate success, removing reliance on emotion, energy, or occasional bursts of determination. The more you rely on systems, the less you rely on luck, chance, or fleeting inspiration. Discipline becomes inevitable. Consider the insights of James Clear in Atomic Habits. He demonstrates that small, consistent actions, structured into repeatable systems, compound over time to produce extraordinary results. The same principle drives the world's most efficient companies. Standard operating procedures, checklists, and automated workflows ensure that critical tasks are executed flawlessly every time. These systems do not wait for motivation. They do not negotiate with moods. They operate on structure and repetition, turning potential chaos into predictable, measurable, and repeatable success. This is the essence of ruthless efficiency, removing uncertainty and making high performance automatic. Now translate this principle into your personal life. Identify the high-value actions that drive your goals, whether fitness, skill acquisition, business growth, or personal development. Break these actions into repeatable daily processes. For example, if your goal is financial mastery, create a daily system, track income and expenses, review investments, and set actionable priorities for the day. If your goal is skill development, block the same time every day for focused learning, with clearly defined milestones. The key is predictability. Your system should function even when you feel tired, distracted, or unmotivated. Next, remove unnecessary decision-making. The more choices you leave to chance, the more likely you are to falter. Automate recurring tasks, pre-plan your day, and eliminate friction that slows execution. For example, prepare your workout clothes the night before, schedule meals in advance, or use apps to automate reminders and tracking. Systems do the work for you. They remove excuses and create a framework where discipline is not optional. It is embedded in your life. Comment below with one system you will implement this week to automate success. Like this video if you are ready to stop relying on willpower and start building frameworks that make high performance inevitable. The 1% who dominate do not depend on luck or fleeting motivation. They construct systems that enforce results. Build your system. Follow it relentlessly. Watch as success becomes not just possible, but automatic. The fifth law of ruthless discipline is essential. Embrace pain as growth. Discipline is not comfort. It is confrontation with resistance. Every shortcut, every avoidance of discomfort is a surrender to weakness. The human mind seeks ease, pleasure, and escape, but the path to power is forged in the opposite direction. Enduring pain is not punishment. It is the tool that strengthens resolve, builds character, and transforms potential into results. Consider military training. Soldiers are pushed to physical and mental limits, not to break them, but to build them. They run when their lungs burn, lift when their muscles scream, and persist when the mind demands surrender. This is deliberate exposure to controlled suffering. Every hour of discomfort compounds into confidence, resilience, and a capacity to endure challenges that would crush the unprepared. The same principle applies to fasting, cold exposure, grueling workouts, or mastering any skill under duress. Pain is a teacher. Those who avoid it remain weak, reactive, and unprepared for the realities of high achievement. Now, translate this principle into your life. Start small. Identify areas where you instinctively seek comfort. Skipping a workout, procrastinating on a difficult task, or avoiding confrontation that would clarify your boundaries. Then do the hard thing anyway. Wake up early despite fatigue. Tackle the task that intimidates you. Push your limits in training. Each act of deliberate discomfort strengthens your discipline muscle. Over time, what once felt excruciating becomes manageable, and the trivial struggles that stop others in their tracks become irrelevant to you. The strategy is simple. Do what's hard now so the future is easier. Pain encountered today builds immunity to the challenges of tomorrow. The mind adapts. The body adapts. And most importantly, your capacity for discipline expands. The 1% understand this principle. They seek the struggle others avoid because they know mastery, influence, and success are reserved for those willing to endure the friction of growth. Avoidance is a shortcut to mediocrity. Confrontation is a pathway to dominance. Comment below with one uncomfortable action you will take today. Like this video if you are ready to stop running from pain and start using it as a weapon to build unstoppable discipline. Remember, the world does not reward comfort. It rewards those who endure, adapt, and dominate through adversity. Pain is not your enemy. It is the forge that makes you unbreakable. The sixth law of ruthless discipline is critical. Track and measure relentlessly. What gets measured gets improved. Discipline is not blind effort. It is calculated action. Without accountability, progress becomes a guess. Effort is wasted and results remain inconsistent. Tracking creates clarity, exposes weaknesses, and enforces responsibility. It transforms vague intentions into measurable outcomes and ensures that every action you take moves you closer to mastery, power, and success. Consider elite athletes. They log every rep, every second, every calorie, and every recovery metric. They don't rely on memory or vague impressions. They quantify performance to identify weaknesses and optimize results. Entrepreneurs do the same. They monitor KPIs, revenue, conversions, and customer behavior. Every metric is a tool to refine strategy, eliminate inefficiencies, and dominate competition. These high performers understand that blind effort is wasted effort. Measurement converts energy into precision, turning discipline into a machine that generates results. Now translate this principle into your life. Start with daily tracking. Keep a journal that logs your tasks, accomplishments, and failures. Record the time you wake, the work you complete, and your progress on long-term goals. Habit trackers, apps, or spreadsheets can enforce consistency and make invisible progress visible. Measurement creates an internal mirror. It exposes patterns of procrastination, highlights areas where discipline falters, and shows exactly where improvement is needed. Without it, success is random. With it, you gain control over outcomes. Next, analyze your data regularly. Don't just record, reflect. Identify which actions deliver results and which drain energy or produce minimal gain. Adjust your routines based on measurable outcomes, not intuition or fleeting feelings. This iterative approach ensures that your system of discipline evolves and strengthens over time. The 1% understand that tracking is not optional. It is a force multiplier. It creates a feedback loop where effort compounds, weaknesses are corrected, and excellence becomes inevitable. Comment below with the one metric or habit you will start tracking today. Like this video if you are ready to hold yourself accountable and convert discipline into measurable results. Remember, consistent tracking turns vague ambition into precise execution. Discipline without measurement is a shot in the dark. Discipline with measurement is a weapon. Track, analyze, and dominate your growth. Results are no longer uncertain, they become inevitable. The 7th law of ruthless discipline is vital. Use time as a weapon. Discipline is not just about action, it is about controlling how you spend every second. Time is the ultimate currency, and once it passes, it can never be reclaimed. Every hour wasted is an opportunity surrendered to others. Those who dominate life understand that mastery over time is mastery over outcomes. To be disciplined is to become the master of your schedule, the architect of your hours, and the commander of your future. Consider Elon Musk. He is notorious for meticulously scheduling every 5 minutes of his day. Every meeting, task, and break is accounted for. This extreme control is not obsession, it is efficiency. Time, when unstructured, is a thief. Musk, like other top performers, exploits every hour. They create systems that eliminate wasted seconds, prioritize high-value tasks, and compress execution to produce extraordinary results. Ordinary people drift. High performers dominate. The difference is control over time. Now translate this principle into your life. Begin by planning your day in blocks. Assign specific windows for high-priority work, deep focus, exercise, skill development, and personal growth. Protect these blocks ruthlessly. Avoid reactive behavior. Emails, calls, social media, and trivial tasks should not dictate your schedule. Instead, dictate your schedule to the world. Time should bend to your plan, not the other way around. Next, eliminate wasted time. Audit your daily activities and identify moments where minutes slip through your fingers. Scrolling on your phone, unnecessary meetings, or passive entertainment. Replace these fragments with high-value actions that compound toward your goals. Treat time like the finite, non-renewable resource it is. Every hour saved and redirected toward purposeful action is a strategic advantage over the masses who fritter their days away waiting for motivation. The application is simple but ruthless. Plan, protect, and exploit every moment. Measure time in terms of value, not convenience. Break your day into actionable segments and adhere to them without compromise. The 1% who rise to dominance do not wish for more hours, they command the ones they have. You can do the same. Transform time from a passive resource into an active weapon that accelerates your discipline and multiplies your results. Comment below with one block of time you will take back and use strategically. Like this video, if you are ready to stop letting time control you and start using every minute as a weapon to build unstoppable power. Remember, control your time and you control your life. Waste it and mediocrity is inevitable. Dominate your hours. Dominate your results. Dominate your world. The 8th law of ruthless discipline is decisive. Automate decisions. Every choice you make consumes mental energy. Decision fatigue is real. It weakens your willpower, slows execution, and opens the door for procrastination. The human mind is limited. The more trivial decisions you face each day, the less capacity you have to execute on high-value tasks. Discipline is not just about action. It is about minimizing the unnecessary mental friction that derails your performance. Automating decisions removes hesitation and guarantees consistency. Consider Steve Jobs. He famously wore the same black turtleneck every day. This was not a quirk. It was a strategic move to eliminate trivial choices. By removing the constant barrage of decisions over what to wear, Jobs preserved his mental energy for innovation, strategy, and execution. This principle applies universally. The less your mind wastes energy on insignificant choices, the more it can devote to high-value action. Discipline thrives when decision-making is pre-structured, predictable, and automated. Now, apply this principle to your life. Start by pre-deciding routines and rules. Meal prep in advance so that nutrition is guaranteed without daily negotiation. Set wardrobe rules. Simplify choices by creating a uniform or limited set of options. Pre-plan your work rituals. Determine exactly how and when you start your day. Tackle high-priority tasks and transition between focus blocks. These automated frameworks reduce friction and prevent willpower from being drained by inconsequential decisions. Next, remove optionality where possible. Limit the choices that do not contribute to your goals. Each time you bypass a trivial decision, you preserve mental energy for the tasks that truly matter. Over time, this builds unstoppable momentum. Your discipline becomes automatic, not a struggle against fatigue or indecision. The 1% understand this principle. They design their lives to operate like machines, leaving nothing to chance or mood. Every process, every habit, every decision is pre-engineered to produce maximum results. Comment below with one decision you will automate starting today. Like this video if you are ready to remove friction, conserve mental energy, and convert your routines into a machine of relentless productivity. Remember, discipline is not about making every choice in the moment. It is about pre-deciding, pre-structuring, and executing without hesitation. Automate the trivial, focus on the vital, and watch as your efficiency, output, and power multiply. The 9th law of ruthless discipline is non-negotiable. Harness obsession. Average effort produces average results. To dominate, you must cultivate controlled obsession, a laser-focused intensity directed at your most important goals. This is not aimless passion or scattered interest. It is deliberate, relentless commitment to excellence in a single domain. Obsession is the fuel that drives extraordinary performance, turning relentless focus into mastery and turning potential into unstoppable results. Consider Richard Feynman, the legendary physicist. His obsession with understanding the world at a fundamental level drove him to extraordinary insights, far beyond what casual curiosity could achieve. He immersed himself completely, questioning, experimenting, and learning relentlessly. Or consider Kobe Bryant. His training intensity was unparalleled. While others rested, he studied, practiced, and pushed beyond limits, honing every skill to perfection. These individuals achieved greatness because obsession replaced distraction, mediocrity, and inconsistency. Obsession focused their energy like a laser, cutting through noise and resistance. Now, apply this principle to your life. Begin by identifying your key goals, the 1 to 3 areas that will generate the highest impact. Obsession cannot be scattered. Focus is your weapon, and attention divided is power lost. Once identified, eliminate distractions ruthlessly. Social media, trivial tasks, and low-value engagements are enemies of obsession. Protect your time, protect your energy, and commit to absolute focus on the chosen objectives. Next, obsess over execution. Obsession is not mere thinking, it is action amplified. Study every angle, refine every process, and practice relentlessly. Track your progress, analyze results, and adjust strategy without hesitation. Make mastery your only acceptable outcome. When others indulge in mediocrity, your obsession propels you forward, compounding results day after day. The 1% who dominate understand that obsession is the differentiator between the ordinary and the extraordinary. It turns discipline from a habit into a driving force that reshapes reality. Comment below with the one goal you will obsess over starting today. Like this video if you are ready to replace distraction with relentless focus and channel your energy toward mastery. Remember, scattered interest produces nothing. Controlled obsession produces results, influence, and power. Focus, obsess, execute. Let your obsession consume distractions, sharpen your skills, and elevate you beyond the masses. Harness it, and you transform not just your performance, but your destiny. The 10th law of ruthless discipline is essential. Reward yourself strategically. Discipline is not about constant deprivation or denying yourself every pleasure. That approach leads to burnout, rebellion, and inconsistency. True discipline is about delayed gratification, the ability to endure discomfort today in exchange for massive advantage tomorrow. Strategic rewards are tools, not indulgences. They reinforce habits, motivate consistency, and ensure that your pursuit of excellence is sustainable over the long term. Consider investors who reinvest profits instead of spending them immediately. They experience delayed gratification, allowing their capital to compound and grow exponentially. Similarly, athletes strategically reward themselves after achieving milestones, a controlled treat, a day of rest, or a small celebration for a target met. These rewards are intentional, measured, and designed to reinforce discipline rather than sabotage it. They create positive feedback loops that condition your mind to associate effort with outcome, strengthening both motivation and focus. Now, apply this principle to your life. First, identify the milestones that matter, the key actions, habits, or achievements that produce the highest impact toward your goals. Then, assign strategic rewards for accomplishing them. Keep rewards proportional, intentional, and aligned with your objectives. For example, after completing a week of consistent workouts, allow a controlled indulgence or a brief leisure activity. After finishing a focused work sprint or mastering a skill, celebrate in a way that energizes rather than distracts. Next, avoid impulsive gratification. The 1% understand that unplanned rewards are traps. Eating that dessert before hitting your target, binge watching a show instead of completing critical work, or skipping progress for temporary pleasure undermines discipline. Strategic rewards, however, transform effort into reinforcement, making adherence to routines not only tolerable, but psychologically satisfying. They create a system where discipline becomes self-reinforcing, turning persistence into an automatic, almost addictive habit. Comment below with one strategic reward you will implement this week to reinforce your discipline. Like this video if you are ready to stop punishing yourself and start rewarding progress in a controlled, tactical way. Remember, deprivation alone creates resistance, but strategic delayed rewards strengthen your resolve and accelerate growth. Discipline is not denial. It is the intelligent management of pleasure and effort to achieve mastery. Reward yourself deliberately, and every victory, no matter how small, compounds into unstoppable power. The 11th law of ruthless discipline is transformative. Build resilience through micro-failures. True strength is not forged in comfort or success. It is cultivated in the repeated confrontation with manageable challenges. Discipline grows when you expose yourself to controlled adversity, when you test your limits, and when you learn to recover faster than you falter. Every small failure is an opportunity to sharpen your resolve, refine your strategy, and expand your capacity to dominate in the face of greater obstacles. Consider entrepreneurs who face minor setbacks daily. A product launch doesn't go perfectly, a client rejects a proposal, or a campaign underperforms. Each setback is a micro-failure, yet these individuals treat it as data, not defeat. They review the results, extract lessons, and iterate rapidly. Over time, they build immunity to failure, developing mental toughness and resilience that allows them to tackle high-stakes challenges others would crumble under. Their discipline is strengthened, not weakened, by repeated exposure to difficulty. Now, apply this principle to your own life. Do not shy away from challenges that test your discipline. Schedule tasks that stretch your abilities, attempt projects that intimidate you, and confront situations where failure is possible. Each time you encounter a minor setback, analyze it objectively. Identify what went wrong, what could have been done better, and what adjustments are necessary. This reflection transforms errors into stepping stones, turning temporary frustration into permanent improvement. Next, embrace daily iteration. Micro-failures are only powerful if you act on them. Adjust your approach, refine your systems, and implement the lessons immediately. Over time, these repeated cycles of challenge, failure, reflection, and improvement create an unbreakable feedback loop. You become faster, smarter, and stronger with each attempt. The 1% understand that resilience is not innate. It is developed through intentional exposure to risk, discomfort, and failure. Those who avoid micro-failures stagnate, while those who embrace them accelerate growth exponentially. Comment below with one micro-failure you will confront today. Like this video if you are ready to stop avoiding minor setbacks and start using them as weapons to strengthen your discipline. Remember, comfort is the enemy of mastery. Each challenge you embrace compounds your resilience, sharpens your focus, and reinforces your capacity to dominate. Seek micro-failures, learn relentlessly, and transform every obstacle into a stepping stone toward unstoppable power. The 12th and final law of ruthless discipline is decisive. Make discipline non-negotiable. Discipline is not a suggestion, a preference, or a flexible guideline. It is an absolute law you impose upon yourself. Without this unwavering commitment, all previous laws crumble. You cannot selectively apply discipline when convenient and abandon it when uncomfortable. True power, mastery, and achievement demand that self-discipline be sacrosanct, inviolable, uncompromising, and relentless. Consider the rigor of Navy SEAL training. Every task, every exercise, and every protocol is executed without exception. The trainees learn that even a single lapse can have severe consequences. This absolute standard is internalized, making discipline a non-negotiable aspect of identity. The same principle applies to high-performing CEOs. Their routines are sacred. Wake-up times, work rituals, meetings, exercise, and focus blocks are adhered to without compromise. The success of these individuals is not accidental. It is a product of absolute commitment to discipline, practiced daily, regardless of fatigue, mood, or circumstance. Now, apply this principle to your life. Begin by defining your core rules, the non-negotiable standards that govern your productivity, health, learning, and personal conduct. Identify the habits, rituals, and behaviors that will define your success. These are the pillars of your discipline. Then commit to breaking nothing. No excuses. No exceptions. Every missed workout, unfinished task, or compromised habit erodes your authority over yourself and signals weakness. Discipline is the framework through which all achievements are built. Guard it like a fortress, and it will defend you against chaos, distraction, and mediocrity. Next, embed discipline into your identity. Treat adherence to your rules as a reflection of who you are, not just what you do. This mindset removes negotiation and excuses. When external circumstances threaten your routine, when motivation wanes, or when challenges arise, your unwavering commitment ensures that action continues. Absolute discipline converts resistance into opportunity, turning consistency into a weapon that compounds results over time. Comment below with one non-negotiable rule you will enforce starting today. Like this video if you are ready to make discipline sacred and unbreakable in your life. Remember, the 1% do not succeed because they occasionally act. They succeed because they make discipline absolute. Guard it fiercely, enforce it without compromise, and let it become the unshakable foundation upon which all your victories are built. Make discipline non-negotiable, and nothing in life will stand in your way. You have just walked through 12 laws designed to transform not only how you act, but who you are. Each law builds upon the last, forming a framework of ruthless discipline that makes the impossible achievable. Stop waiting for motivation, master your mornings, remove weakness triggers, and create systems that make success automatic. Embrace pain, track relentlessly, use time as a weapon, automate decisions, harness obsession, reward yourself strategically, build resilience through micro-failures, and finally make discipline non-negotiable. When applied consistently, these laws compound into unstoppable momentum, turning ordinary effort into extraordinary results. This is not theory. This is not optional. The world does not pause for hesitation. It does not reward indecision or fleeting inspiration. Every moment you waste, every excuse you entertain, is a moment surrendered to those who act decisively. Discipline is your differentiator. It is the mechanism through which power, influence, and mastery are forged. Stop waiting, start acting, and enforce these rules without compromise. Your potential is irrelevant without execution. Your intentions are meaningless without action. Only those who implement these laws rise above the crowd, dominate competition, and claim the life they envision. Now, internalize the urgency. Every day wasted is a step backward. The 1% do not wait for favorable conditions. They create them. They do not rely on bursts of motivation. They execute with unshakable discipline. By following these 12 laws, you are constructing an unbreakable foundation for achievement. You are taking control over your habits, your environment, your time, and your mind. You are converting discipline from a concept into a weapon that will enforce consistency, resilience, and dominance across every aspect of your life. Here's the actionable step. Commit right now. Comment below with the one law you will implement first, and commit to it with absolute fidelity. Subscribe for more strategies, more laws, and more frameworks to dominate your life, because this is only the beginning. Each law is a tool, each habit a lever, and each day a chance to compound your power into results that others can only dream of. Remember this: ruthless self-discipline is not a skill you acquire, it is a weapon you wield. It is forged in the discomfort you embrace, the decisions you automate, and the obsession you channel toward mastery. It is non-negotiable, relentless, and absolute. Wield it, and nothing in life can stand in your way. Fail to wield it, and you will be left behind, watching as others claim the success, recognition, and influence that you allowed to slip past while waiting for motivation to arrive. Like this video, if you are ready to stop waiting, start executing, and build a life ruled by unstoppable discipline. Comment below with your commitment, take action immediately, and remember, the world doesn't care if you procrastinate. Only those who execute rise. Discipline is your weapon. Wield it relentlessly and nothing can stop you.